YouTube, Blissful Goats here, and if the quality's a bit different, just know I'm using a new camera because my last phone got torrential tributed. Anyway, I'm back here with HaishaYgo once more.
Hello.
And you're going to show us what today?
We're playing Voiceless Voice.
Yeah, because probably some people need to learn how to play this deck based on what I saw from the reports.
Yeah, sorry, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you've won what, 2 events with this deck now?
I think about 4, actually.
Okay, my mistake.
Yeah, it's doing really well.
Alright, excellent. So, anything you want to say before we start?
Well, we've got a small engine in the deck, but we'll get to that when we get to that. It's a little different.
Excellent. Okay, take it away.
So we'll start with our 3 copies of Low, the Prayers of the Voiceless Voice. Our main level 1 starter. Gets us to any continuous spell or trap in the deck. It's basically the main 1-card combo you want to see as much as possible.
Yeah.
And specials itself back when a ritual summoned. And it can be used as a whole tribute. So.
It's kind of like Shirt.
It's like Shirt, yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to compare to Necros.
Yeah.
You just...
I mean, everyone on this channel knows how much I like my Necros, so...
Yeah. I like Necros too. It is kind of similar, in a weird way.
Yeah.
Next we have our 2 copies of Saphira. This should be a 3-up, I will say now. I don't have a 3rd yet,
Fair.
unfortunately. But the deck is doing fine with 2. If anything, I lose to draw less. But
yeah.
you do want to play through this. This gets you to your rituals and lets you ritual summon it with its grave effect.
Nice.
Next we have a 1-of in Saravis, the non-ritual Saravis. This is just a nice 1-of that lets you cheat out a ritual when your opponent does anything ever.
I really like the art in that one,
It's
to be honest.
very nice, yeah. It's like the rituals have their own human forms to them. Yeah, it could just special itself by putting 2 spells into the deck, and it gives you free rituals, so why not? For our rituals themselves, we have 2 copies of Skull Guardian, our main boss monster.
So, if you're the main boss, why do you only play 2, if curiosity?
Because it's a ritual deck, and we don't want to brick, but we also don't want to lose our only copy.
That makes sense.
Our ritual spell has an effect to bring out an extra one if he gets outed, so we need at least 2 copies. But 3 is too risky for like rituals.
That makes sense.
Then we have 2 copies of Saravis,
yes.
a classic hand trap, but he's also technically part of our archetype.
Honestly, I love this card seeing play in a top deck, finally.
Yeah.
I remember back when Burning Abyss was playing this in 1 copy back in 2018 or so.
Yeah.
That was a pretty cool card. Nice to see him get some time in the sun.
He's really nice to play, especially right now. I think Imperm is one of the best hand traps, so this guy gives you a bit of insulation against Imperm and Avela specifically. And you get to actually summon him, and he's Solemn Warning when on the field, so he's pretty cool.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
But cool.
For our last ritual, we play 1 Odd Eyes Pendulum Graph Dragon. This is the only other good level 7 light ritual in the game, so he's just a spell negate on board and also burns for 300 whenever they summon from the extra deck. And he could cheer out other Odd Eyes from our extra deck, which we only have 1 target for, but it's a nice extra body on board whenever you do negate a spell.
Oh, nice.
And whenever he negates a spell, he places himself in the scale, and then when he's in the scale during the end phase, you can bounce him to hand and add a ritual spell from deck or grave. So he's also really good for recycling, or if you need that follow-up for turn 3. So yeah, he's pretty cool. For our more generic stuff, we've got, of course, 3 Diviner of the Herald.
Yeah, probably this is the thing that causes people some problems.
This is one of the biggest things that will like budget people out of this deck. A playset's probably about £90.
Yeah. But literally, when I was seeing those reports, everyone was making mistakes with this card.
People are like dumping like illegal targets that were worse than the legal targets, so it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, Diviner's crazy. We've got 2 really good targets and then also a 3rd that I'll get to later. For our first target, we of course play Trias Hierarchia.
I mean, if you guys have seen my runic generators, you know this card. You know this.
You dump this, immediately tribute the Diviner. Divine then triggers to summon Low from the deck, so it's another way to get to your 1-card combo. And it makes Diviner... it lets Diviner dodge Imperm as well if you open the Trias, because it can tribute to summon from hand or grave.
So, are you able to use your extra deck in this deck?
Yeah, nothing locks me out of the extra deck.
Oh, so would you ever think about using a one-star tuner like the generator does to get Baron?
We wouldn't play Baron. What we would play is Chaos Angel.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have that yet, because Low plus this would make Chaos Angel with 2 lights to make it unaffected by monster effects.
Makes sense.
Unfortunately, I do not have that yet.
Yeah, because that's one of my favorite things to do in generator is just get the Baron on to protect life. Yeah.
The only tuner we could play is like Vela. For hand traps, we have 3 Ash, of course.
Of course.
Good card. Obviously, everyone knows Ash.
As long as you don't get snake-eyed.
Then we have Triple Nibiru. This is good, particularly right now. I think it's a very strong bar, but also it's a level 11 light, so it can be used as the entire tribute for a ritual summon.
Oh, that is really good, actually.
Your ritual spell has to tribute light monsters for the ritual summon, and Nibiru is one of the best targets if you don't have access to Low immediately.
I actually like that design a lot.
It's a nice bit of utility, and it's just a great hand trap in general.
Of course.
And then for our last hand traps, we just have Triple Imperm. Probably the best hand trap in the format right now, other than like Shifter. It's a good card. For the rest of our engine spells, we have 3 Barrier. This is usually what you're placing from deck with Low. This gets you any Voiceless Voice card. And it also protects your board from targeting if you control Low and a ritual. And your opponent can only attack rituals. And Skull Guardian will be 4100 attack, so I don't think they're beating over your board.
Okay, so your deck's kind of scary going first or second.
Yes, yes. You can break boards easily. This gives you instant protection. It's very good into like the Rescue Ace matchup in particular, if you set up low on a ritual.
Very relevant at our locals.
Yes, yes.
One of the best decks at locals.
And then for our other continues, we have one copy of Radiance, our continuous trap. This is a nice bit of interruption. It's kind of like, I guess, an Icarus attack or a Sword Soul Blackout.
Oh, yeah.
If you control you can target as many cards your opponent controls as the amount of light rituals you control, destroy this card and this card. So if you control like 3 rituals, you can pop 3 cards. And it also has a nice recycling effect to summon any Voiceless from the deck or search.
Nice.
So it's just a good utility card. You need something to place other than Barrier. Next we have 2 of our Ritual Spell. It's just, you have to play it. The Saphira will dump this from grave, and when it's in grave, if your ritual is outed by card effect, you can just banish this to special another one from deck. It's like, why wouldn't you want to do that?
Honestly, they did. You usually that powerful to make a good ritual these days.
Yeah, it's just your good ritual spell.
Yeah, again, it reminds me a bit of the mirrors.
Yeah. Now for our side engine, we are playing 3 Branded Fusion.
Okay, talk us through this one.
Branded Fusion is just Foolish Burial, but for light monsters and a Fallen of Albaz. That also spits out a 3k Mirror Jade on the board.
That makes total sense, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is at 3, Foolish is at 1. Just play 3 Branded Fusion.
You're right.
Yeah.
You know, and Mirror Jade's kind of nice. So of course we also have Fallen
Yeah.
of Albaz.
Oh, yeah.
Just one of.
Yeah. For those who don't know in chat, I do not like Mirror Jade at all. I legitimately hate playing against that card.
The Branded Fusion can fix a lot of weird and dead hands. It can dump a Low, it can dump Saphira, and it can dump Trias Hierarchia if you need to tribute a Diviner.
Yeah.
It's a very nice attack.
That sounds really cool, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next we have a Pre-Preparation of Rites.
Yeah, that's self-sponsor, I think.
The ritual spell mentions Skull Guardian and Soul Raver, so you can search either with pre-prep. It's just a +1 and card advantage.
Do you play the original prep, or...?
No original prep. Bit too cloggy, I'd say, and
That's fair.
we don't need to recycle the ritual spell from graveyard. Trap already does that.
That makes sense.
Next we just have some more non-engine stuff. We've got Place of Prosperity.
Yeah.
I was playing 40 cards, but then I decided to play 43 and I just had 3 copies of Prosperity, and all of the problems have been fixed. I'm no longer bricking.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
This card, 6 cards deep, you're going to have to see what you want.
When you're playing a ritual deck with a couple of cards you don't want in your hand, it feels a lot better to play over 40 in some instances.
Yeah.
That's how I like it anyway. Next we just have a couple of talents. It's just a good card. Everyone's playing a million hand traps, so
it makes sense,
why
yeah.
not? And we've got a Call by the Grave. Last card in there.
Yeah, of course.
It's Call by the Grave. We don't like John and Lockbird in here.
Yeah, I'm going to say for the draw, mostly.
Yeah. Next for our extra deck, we have a couple of links. So we got a Link Karibo and an Anima for all Link ones.
God, I was shocked when I saw the price of that card, how much it's gone up.
But, you know, they're just the best Link ones for level 1 decks. Like, why not? Then we have 2 Dynamondo. This has a nice sort of combo you could do turn 1 if you don't have access to your spell and trap, the continuous, where you could just tribute this and draw face to special back to Skull Guardian, which will then trigger the low and grave to special itself, and then place another card from your deck face up. And it's also just really good removal for going second.
Yeah.
And you want multiples. It's just a good card, what can I say? Now for what we dump off of Herald other than Trias is...
Of course.
Herald of the Arclight and also Elder Entertainers.
Yeah. You ever considered running Punishment in this deck?
Not really, because it would just be unsearchable without a copy of Thrust, and I kind of like access to my extra deck, so...
That's fair.
They're just good sends off Diviner if you already have access to Trias, or you've like dumped Trias off a Branded Fusion, for example.
Yeah.
Speaking of Branded Fusion, we have our fusions in Mirror Jade, Libellion, and Double Albion. We summon Albion with a light. If we want to recycle the Albaz into deck, we make it this. This is a light, so it's also a good tribute fodder for the ritual spell, and then we can make this. But if we don't want to discard, we could just go this into this immediately.
Alright, well, you make 2 more cards you can send to the graveyard. You thought about the one that you can dump to get a branded card to your hand?
I'm not
that?
sure which one you mean.
Hang on, we've got the branded player right next to me. Yeah, the one you can dump to get a branded card to your hand.
Branded Retribution.
No, the fusion, the silver armor.
Oh, Titaniclad.
That's the one.
Oh, no, we could make that, I guess, but it doesn't really do anything for our deck, because we don't want to summon Albaz usually.
And you can't dump it, no.
Yeah.
Fair, okay, fair.
We just dump, with Mirror Jade, we just dump another one of this and like recycle another Branded Fusion from deck, in case we used this first.
Yeah.
It's just there as an extender.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
free card advantage.
Yeah, viewers, in case you don't know, my only knowledge about branded is looking at Mirror Jade on a punching bag every day.
For our last few tech cards, we've got the Odd Eyes Winged Dragon. This is what we summon off Pendulum Graph when it uses a spell negate. It's just a 3k body, and it has a negate, but a spell speed 1 negate, so it's a bit slow, but he's huge.
Yeah.
He's cool. And then Typhon, it's crazy, you know.
Yeah,
Typhon's cool.
you don't get Zeus, do you?
Yeah, we don't want to get Zeus. And then last, we're playing some Super Poly targets, because we play Super Poly in the side deck. These are the best ones.
Yeah.
You could also play Earth Golem Agnister and maybe cut the Odd Eyes from the extra deck. But I don't have one of them right now. But that's mainly if you want to like Super Poly for like the Fire King matchup, because they end on a lot of links.
Yeah.
In Cyberse.
But thankfully, I don't think anyone is playing the broken version of the deck.
Yeah. Now for the side, we've of course got triple Super Holly, like I just mentioned. It's kind of really nice right now.
Yeah, this card is super good.
It hits a lot of decks, including this one, so play Super Poly. We got
Keep it on, making all of that.
triple evenly match, probably one of the better board riggers right now.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the decks aren't snagging up Omni Negate specifically, so evenly match can get a lot of value.
Yeah. Oh, if they are, it's usually like one, like Baron or something,
Yeah,
it's not.
or my deck with the Skull Guardian.
Yeah.
But that's about it. And then we've got a Harpies, backer removal.
Yeah, for my deck today.
And then we've got a playset of Summon Limit.
Ew.
We needed one Floodgate for going first, and Summon Limit is by far the best one.
Yeah. Honestly, it truly stuns me that they realize that floodgates are so bad for the game. Hit the 3 best,
No, we
but
got this
don't hit this or anti-spell.
Yeah, they probably should get limited as well.
Yeah.
And, you know, but we got to play something for when we're never going first.
But I'm sure some players will find something else broken if they do.
Yeah.
We all know this card.
Lastly, we got a couple of extra hand traps. We got triple Droll and Lockbird because it's Droll and Lockbird.
For the mirror.
Just an extra. It's an extra bar. It's good for the mirror. It's good for a lot of decks. You know.
Yeah.
It's Droll and Lockbird. And then last we got a couple of DD Kuro. A lot of graveyard decks. You know.
Yeah,
It's
Snake
got
Eyes,
into stuff
yeah.
like Branded and Snake Eyes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's DD Kuro. It's good. So yeah, that's about everything.
Oh, so you enjoying the deck?
I absolutely love it. It is so fun to play.
All right. Well, thanks for showing up on the channel again.
Thanks for having me once again.
Always a pleasure to have you on.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. See you all soon for the video on the next Switcher deck, and see you guys soon.
Bye bye.